In two of my previous videos, I said this. I will definitely read other works by J.H., but I think I need to set a proper date to read them, especially The Horizon, having these precautions of the emotional turbulence that I would likely experience. I think I need to set a proper time and be mentally and emotionally prepared to read the story. This is because of the things that I've heard about the story, one of which is that it's best to read the entire 21 chapters in one sitting. And someone said that he couldn't stop crying while reading the last 10 chapters of the story, which is crazy. But boy, was I wrong.
Do you love stories? Well, I do. And when I love something, I like to talk about it. If you have the same passion for stories, then come right in. Because that's what Turi Kata Oge is all about.
Hi there! Welcome back to Turi Kata Oge. I finally read The Horizon, and it's been almost 2 weeks since I've finished reading it, and I have things to say about it. I just need to vent, guys. In case you don't know what The Horizon is, it's a manhwa created by J.H. or Jung Ji Hoon, and it is originally released in 2016 in Korea and then officially in English in 2021 on Webtoon. It is highly acclaimed. Many people said that it's such a great story, it made them cry for 15 hours, and it is life-changing, etc. Here's the gist of the story. With a raging war in the background, we follow a boy who lost his mother during a bomb raid, and then he started to think about many things, and he then decided to walk, and he met a girl who was likely orphaned because of the war as well. Then they walked together, they met people, they experienced things, and of course things happened, which I won't go into details, but it was pretty intense. So that's what I can say about the story for now. After reading the whole 21 chapters of The Horizon, how do I feel about it? Were the people who raved about this manhwa wrong? I don't think so. Is it such a great piece of fiction? Yes, absolutely. And the billion-dollar question, did I cry reading this manhwa? I did, but not for hours upon hours upon hours. It was just for about 2 minutes, I guess. So yeah, I just didn't get that mind-blown experience as I was anticipating it. So after being upset with myself for not responding to the story in the way I was expecting it to be, I then realized that the main reason of my not really astounded experience reading The Horizon was none other than the author's other work, which is The Boxer. Here's the thing, I read Jung Ji Hoon's work in backward order, so excluding the time when I read only the first chapter of The Horizon, like way back, which I don't even remember when that was. I started reading The Boxer in June 2022, and then Mosquito Wars around September and October, and then this month, January 2023, I read The Horizon. If you heard something in the background, someone's cooking. In the afterword of Mosquito Wars, the author stated that the idea of the story, Mosquito Wars, came when he was playing basketball and was in such a fatigued condition after working on The Horizon, which he deemed at that moment to be his greatest work so far. After reading two of his works, which was Mosquito Wars and The Boxer, I was already quite familiar with the author's writing style, art style, and also the themes brought up in his works. With that knowledge, I wasn't really in shock with the things that were shown in the panels of The Horizon, and also I kind of already knew where the story was going. And there are also literary devices that Jung Ji Hoon loves to use, and it will sound kind of harsh, but it wasn't that impressive compared to the first time I saw those literary devices being used. And when you think about it, that's not really a bad thing. That just means that it's his signature storytelling style. Also, Jung Ji Hoon's works always revolve around this one particular theme, but of course, each has its own main focus, and the horizon deals with life, suffering, death, and some other themes that I won't mention here because that's gonna be spoilers. And I always appreciate those themes. But what put me off a little bit was that the themes and some imageries that I saw in the horizon, I kind of already seen in the boxer. And I like the ones in the boxer more than the ones in the horizon because I think the main reason would be there are more chapters in the boxer, therefore the readers are given more time to understand what was going on, what's happening in the story, what was being portrayed, and sink that in. And also, of course, we have more time to empathize with the characters. And another thing that I noticed is that with the boxer, the author was being a bit more upfront, and I like that upfrontness of his. And yeah, it's completely understandable. But after, saying these things about the horizon, I do myself have some things to confess. I didn't read the horizon solely on Webtoon. I read it in another platform, and here's the reason. 1, things are being censored on Webtoon. Number 2, there are some panels that were set to be best enjoyed in wide format so the reader can grasp the vastness of the scene, and that's just not possible with Webtoon. And thirdly, I need daily pass to read the horizon. I've already unlocked some of the later episodes, but not the earlier ones. That being said, I didn't read the horizon in one sitting as being suggested. Rather, I read the first few chapters in several days. With the boxer, I didn't even dare to read like 10 chapters in one go. So my thought was like, why would I do that with Horizon? But after chapter 7 or 8 or maybe 9, I started binge reading it out of impulse and curiosity. The downside of reading this manhwa in that platform that I won't name, though, is that there are texts that weren't being translated. And I think it's due to the image quality or stuff, because JH intentionally made some text less opaque than the other ones. And thus, that text got kind of pixelated. So with this problem, there were some parts that I couldn't really understand. But then, of course, after reading it on Webtoon, I went like, oh. So I guess that's my mistake. So after saying all those things, do I hate The Horizon? Absolutely not. Is it worth to read? Yes, especially if you haven't read any of the author's work, and if you're not ready to read like 100+ chapters that will slap you right into reality, and by that I mean The Boxer, yeah, you could start with The Horizon. And does this manhwa made me think about things and keep thinking and pondering upon those things even until now? Yes, yes, and yes. I even had goosebumps while reading the last few chapters, so yeah. In my case, it is definitely a story that I would appreciate more and more the more I think about it. What I'm trying to say here is that I'm just a bit upset because I didn't cry like everybody else while reading The Horizon. Yeah. And that's probably my biggest mistake because I compared myself to others. Like, hello. By the way, this comes from someone who didn't cry watching Grave of the Fireflies, which is a Studio Ghibli movie set in wartime with children as its main characters. So, I shouldn't have been that surprised, right? Like, what was I thinking? Hello? Nonetheless, I still highly recommend you to read Jung Ji Hoon's work, including The Horizon, and I myself would continue reading his works because he's definitely one of my favorite authors, not only on Webtoon, but generally. And that is it for this video, guys. Thank you so very much for watching. Like this video if you enjoy it, share it if you want, and yeah, be subscribed. That would put a smile on my face. And have a great time living your life in a story way greater than you could ever imagine. I'll see you in another video. Bye!